Hey there, welcome to another episode of the Investor Types podcast. I'm Stefan Angelini. I'm sitting down with Damien Roylance from Entourage Finance. We've got a special one today. We're basically talking to business owners or people who want to start their own business.
Yeah.
People who want to grow their own business and grow to a point where you have to keep reinvesting to grow the team, to ensure you can grow profits and essentially have a big business.
That's the plan. Hopefully I can share some insights then.
Yeah, so it takes different sort of investor types to do these kind of things. I thought it'd be great to get Damien on because he's growing a business in the finance space. And you get to a point sometimes when you run a business and you get the choice, do I pull money out and start my own investment portfolio on the side, or do I double down and try and grow this thing and grow it big?
Yeah.
Why I think he's so special is because he's one of the only Collingwood supporters I know with a mouthful of teeth. And a diehard at that. So, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm a Collingwood supporter as well, but I'm not as pretty.
This is our year this year, I think. 2020 is our year. I say that every year though. Yeah.
So Damien was living in London for a long time. And 2010, if a lot of people remember 2010, where there was a draw in the grand final, Collingwood versus St Kilda. You were living in London. What did you do?
I had a bet with my old man before I went to London earlier in the year that if Collingwood made the grand final, he thought there was no hope they were going to make the grand final, he'd fly me back. So we made the grand final. I had a job interview on that Friday, which I had to cancel, and I flew on the Friday from Paris. I was in Paris at the time, and then flew to Melbourne, got in Friday night, and then went to the grand final with no sleep. And then we drew, as we know, it was one of the greatest games. But then I had to fly home on the Monday, so I missed the win. So I think I've seen 4 Collingwood losses and a draw, and still haven't quite seen that win, which is hopefully this year we normally win we won 1990 in 2010, so hopefully 2020 is it's every 10 or 20 years. So,
such a love story with such a heartbreak. You poor bugger.
Yeah. It's all good.
So coming from London, and what we want to talk about is your finance business. I want to know, for all the people out there that are thinking about starting a business, how did you get started with your company, with Entourage?
Yeah, well, I guess we've got to go back to when we got back from London was around Jan 2012. And so I was in discussions of coming back to a previous employer, which I started mortgage broking in 2006. Mm-hmm. So I could have went back as an employee, income, which was great after being in London for about 18 months. Yeah. Or another partner I used to know, Mark, who was a buyer's advocate, to start a brand new business. Mm-hmm. Mark, I used to work with Mark, so he was, we knew each other really well. But he goes, well, you get no income. There's nothing here for the next 6 or so months until I start earning income, which was probably pretty challenging. I had my lovely wife, Amy. We got engaged before we went to London, and we were planning our wedding probably in March 2012. So we had about 3 months for the wedding. I had a lot of debt like you, and I love my property. I bought 3 properties in my 20s and carried that.
Before you took off to London?
Yeah. 2007, 2008, we had about $1.5 million of debt. Somehow managed to go to London, and the rent's kind of covered most of it. Yeah. I took the plunge into the offer of no income. I don't know why at the time. Had to live at home with mum and dad because we couldn't afford to move back into one of our other places.
With your fiancée?
Yeah, we lived in her parents. We swapped parents a little bit. Yeah. And as we got married, I don't know when we moved into the house. I think it was after the wedding, after March. But the funny thing is, when I look back on it now, my boss or my partner at the time, Mark, says, I've got this other little side business going on. It's an internet. He'd been working on an internet business in real estate. And he goes, you can have some of this as well as we kind of grow the mortgage broking property business. So that was in my back pocket. I said, yeah, whatever. That turned out to be okay, which is, looking back 8 years later, I made the right decision. But knowing you're a startup man yourself, but all these internet things don't always work. But lucky this one.
I've had a few that have gone wrong.
Yeah.
Had one that nearly got there.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic story.
Yeah.
But I think what I took out of that was, when you start a business, don't expect to make money straight away. You're going to have to sort of bite the bullet for a little bit, move back home with your parents. Even if you got debt, if you really want to do it, be prepared to not get paid for a while, or not get paid really well.
And I think everyone thinks the grass is greener, as you know. Like, what is it? Only 1 in 10 survive the first kind of 12 months or 24 months.
Which you did, but you also got involved in a startup. I love this. So the startup was not making money at the start. Is now a big company, ASX listed. Yeah. Tell us about how it started, what it is.
Yeah.
Well, where it is.
It was an idea that Mark and Xavier, the 2 property guys, had. They actually started auction tipping contests. Like, it was called Property Tycoon, where they'd choose 5 properties, and people love property. It's a bit of a sport in especially in Melbourne,
Yeah.
and you could kind of pick, which property, what you think they would sell for within a range. If you got it within 100 grand, it would go into your portfolio. That was one. It was really hard to monetize. It was just a bit of fun. Then the other idea was rate my agent, which is taking from your TripAdvisors and what's that travel one, or whatever it is. Everyone was rating everything, but real estate agents were getting away with everything.
Yeah.
It probably started being a negative around, geez, that agent bloody screwed me kind of thing.
Yeah.
But in the end, it's become a real positive site for agents to promote themselves. And so then Rate My Agent developed, as we kind of worked in iProperty Plan, was the mortgage broking business. This little startup, kept growing a bit of legs here and there, and we started to hire more people. But the profit or the income that we're earning from the business we'll just put back onto the startup.
Yeah.
So that's probably the advantage we had, I think, over a lot of other startups where we had a functioning business, which was making money.
Yep.
And you could kind of, direct income to the startup.
Yep. So you didn't have to go for big capital raisings at the start. You used your own funds, you knew what you wanted to grow, and you could just reinvest into the tech. And running a tech company, man, that costs some money. Yeah.
And the three of us, and look, I was more in the mortgage business, and the two guys kind of got more involved in the property side of things. None of us were tech heads.
Yeah. So eventually, you had a little portion of this company,
yeah,
which has now grown up to be something massive, but you made the decision to say, I'm not going to go along for the journey and dedicate all my time. I'm going to keep the broking and doing what I'm good at. So you had to go through a split with your partners.
Yeah, well, I guess as they were doing less of the buyer's advocate, more on the website. So I had to keep, you had to keep mortgage broking to keep money coming in the door, because we all had families, by then I had family, and so did Xavier and Mark, so I was there to fund a lot of it while they could build it and concentrate on it more, which was great. And then in 2015, they'd raised a bit of money by then. We'd probably done a second raise, and they go, well, I think this is a serious thing. We're going to dedicate this, and we had a good split, which was really amicable. Yeah, the only funny thing now when I look back is I bought them out of the trail income, so the trail commission was only what the business was worth, a percentage of the trail. I think I said it was worth 2, Xavier said it was worth 3, and then Mark was in the middle of 2.5. So I think we all had different minds. We didn't have an actual shareholders agreement in writing down,
like most businesses don't at the start.
We did all this on a handshake at the old Hilton Hotel.
Yeah.
Even about these shares, which are worth a bit of money now. I didn't have anything in writing about it, but the guys there is still good people out there that honour their handshakes. But yeah, we ended up in the middle 2.5 times of what the trail was, and just bought them out. And then at that time, that was December 2015.
So in order to buy them out, you would have taken on more debt to do that?
I think because we hadn't been paying ourselves much, I didn't have the money, the capital myself to just pay cash. So we borrowed the money, and that was fine because you get recurring income in. The interest is quite low, so that worked out well. And then I had to rebrand, I had to change the name. Because it was all connected to one of the business partners, his kind of family company. And so we came up with the name Entourage. Well, I came up with the name Entourage. I like the TV show.
Hence the creation of Entourage.
Yeah, so...
so tell me a bit about why Entourage, why you started it.
Yeah,
when was that? When was the name?
It was December, I think the first day of Entourage was December 2015, but it obviously I had some time to prepare. We knew it was coming, so I had time to kind of set things up. I don't know, starting a name, we can't all just have a beautiful angel name like yourself, but that's like part of the last name. Mark wanted Roylance Finance, which sounded really bad, I hated that. But look, I didn't want my name on the door. I want it to be a brand that you could build a brand around, so that it's not all about you. I think a lot of people in finance and real estate like to have their name on the door. Bit of an ego thing, that's not what I wanted to create for myself. And Entourage, I think the movie was out at the time, and then I managed to get the domain name entourage.com.au.
That's pretty cool.
For a couple of grand.
That's a win.
Because I had all other forms of Entourage, like My Entourage and different things, but when I got Entourage, I thought, that's a sign I can run with this, and then you can kind of build. The meaning of Entourage is a band of people supporting an important person. So I really felt if I could build this team of advisors, then clients could come in and get really good quality advice. And so it worked really well, and people love the name. It's been good. They always ask me about the TV show, of course. I probably pretend to be Ari Gold sometimes. I'm not quite like Ari, but we do have a Vinny in the office. He thinks he's quite Vincent Chase, but he's a long way from that as well.
He's charming. He's
charming.
We'll give it to him.
That's all right. Yeah.
So the business then, when you started it, how many people did you have? Was it just yourself? Did you have someone else come along with you?
It was Hume. So Hume's been there for he's 8 years this year. So he was at the start of almost. He started in that first year in 2012 with iProperty Plan, and so he became a partner of the business. You know, because he's so loyal and so good, he just got equity in the business. I think last year or the year before.
Yep.
He's the nicest person you'll ever meet. Supports his family and just a genuinely great human being.
He really is.
So there was Hume, and there was my brother-in-law Brett, who moved away overseas a couple of years ago. Yeah. There's the three of us, and it's been fun. I think there was who else did we hire? I think we've hired a lot in 2000. So that 2016 was that kind of first year of business. We had to get our own office. We moved into Cremorne, which has kind of been an amazing little adventure. Yep. And it just keeps growing. And then we worked hard that year to try and, before I could really hire more people, we had to go and we had to have a good year. So I was really focused to just smash it that year, and we did over 100 mil in our game of mortgages. There's a bit of a barrier. It's like doing a ton, I suppose. Yeah. And so we got over 100 mil in that 2017 financial year, so 16-17, and we got number 20. We ranked 23 in the country for brokers. Yeah. And then we thought, and we could breathe. It was a really hard year of work, just two of us doing that, just Hume and I. Yeah. And then next year we started hiring, and so that year
bringing on staff.
Yeah.
2017.
So
it went from 2 to more to now you're at 16.
Yeah.
I'm just going to pause it for a bit there. We're going to come back after this, and we're going to talk about what it means, life and finance, and being a business owner. What it means to your life.
Cool.
See you in a sec.
Cheers.
All right, we're back. So what we're talking about with Damien is about how life changes when you're a business owner, and how your finances change when you're a business owner, because you haven't got that steady stream of income coming in unless you decide to pay yourself. But how has your life adapted to being a business owner, and even how does your wife and kids have to adapt to that as well?
Yeah. Well, look, we have gone through phases. Like, it's been 4 years now of having entourage and controlling the money, and you have good months and you think, you take some money out, then you go. Then my lovely accountant Sean will send me bloody tax bills for the quarter. I'm like, shit, that's 80 grand I got. So you got to, and you got to adjust it again. So, and there's been times where I just haven't taken money at all. Look, I manage the money in the household with the family based on the finance experience. But there is times when there's no money in the accounts. Mm-hmm. In early days, because I've been investing a lot into the business, and we hired 4 or 5 people in 2017. Gone from 3 to 8, which is just
big jump.
Just a big jump, and I do these stupid things sometimes. I go all in and just hope it works out at the end. And look, it's all those guys that kind of.
You've got to believe in yourself.
And we got good people. Like, I didn't try to hire all these people, but we had good applicants come in. Yeah. So I hired 3 brokers within 6 months. Which we wanted probably 1 or maybe 2.
Did you have the money to fund them, like the ongoing revenue stream, or did you have to say, all right, we need to bring in more money in order to pay for these people?
I think because I was off the back of the really good year of 2017, when we were really skinny, and it's so much more profitable sometimes if you just want to do all the work. Yeah. And we had a really good 2017 was that real good year as well. Then we kind of went into the 2018s and 19s with the market kind of crashed a little bit with all the changes in lending. Yeah. So you do kind of assume that you backed yourself that business will keep growing. Yep. If you bring more people in, you'll earn more money, or the business will earn more money. Yep. But you can't handle some of these market changes sometimes.
We talk about horror stories when people I guess, start businesses or run businesses. Yeah. You got a few things sort of, sometimes shit hits the fan and you just got to scramble and make it work. So you came from London to get into this business, you had no money, you had debt everywhere. Yeah. So you went, all right, I'm going to make the decision, go live at home with your parents, that's sorted. Then you have things like government changes or legislation changes, which happens in our industries, which happened in 2018, which sort of would have affected your business. No one was buying, no one was borrowing, you had all these staff. How did you get through it?
Well, that's probably the time when I would always sacrifice my own income for their income. The tough thing is if you start not paying people, they're probably going to leave you. I was lucky that I've got the other investments, so I'll just pull money from that to live off if I needed to.
Clever.
But
I run the same.
Yeah,
I run the same shop.
I mean, I know other business owners might want to pay themselves first. I was probably the last one to get paid. And then if there's any left, I might take it out of the business when the times were tough. And that's kind of how you the goal has always been this brand and building this brand and this culture that you've got a good office environment to work for, and you got to get them the money first, because I've got really good staff. They're good brokers, good admin. They're just a dream team, and they're all coming up to the third year of work. So to get through that last kind of 1 or 2 years of tough times in the market, and you know all the expenses we've been paying, we can kind of see the light now.
Yep.
Because you know they're doing record numbers. You know, we're in this new office, and things
culture, building a good team culture is so important to growing a big business or a good business, because you want good people to stay on.
Well, you read all the books. Culture seems to be one of the biggest things for retaining good staff, and I like things to work. You know, if you go into our office, you know everyone's got really nice computers, the sit-stand desks, everything needs to work. I've been in offices before. I'm sure everyone has, like, and you kick in the photocopier and when shit doesn't work, it just frustrates you. So the goal is for me to try and create an environment where we can do everything for them, so they can just concentrate on clients and bring in the work. Everything else just has to work seamlessly behind them. And that's been expensive, but it's kind of, I don't know how you would ever, a retention of a staff member, how that would ever, what dollar figure you put on that. Like Vincent and some of the guys there, and Mika and Nicole, like they're all 3-year experience. They're all doing some of the best numbers they've ever done. But if I didn't put that money into them and sacrifice for myself in the last couple of years, then you wouldn't have any of them. So
you get frustrated, they leave. Something's better out there.
Yeah.
So growing a business is obviously hard because you got to dedicate funds, resources, your time. And there's a common misconception out there that when you run a business, and especially if you've got a growing business and you upgrade your offices like you've recently done, that you're killing it. Everyone looks at you, all your mates turn to you, they go, you must be killing it. Look at you, you've got all this staff coming on board. Tell me about that. How do you feel about that misconception then when people say you must be killing it?
I think people in business would know that that's not always the case. I speak to other people that, whether they're in real estate, and they go, well, more staff just sometimes creates more headaches and more expenses. So, we're a young business. We're still only 4 years old, and, we've gone through a lot of changes and, buying it. We bought a business last year and we've done a new office. So that's all very expensive stuff. And
it puts stress on you sometimes as well, because if things don't work out, like one, you got to have the balls to do it. Right.
And you don't want people to think you're going shit either. So I don't mind that they think we're killing it, but we're doing very well from an industry point of view. But there's not millions of dollars flying around everywhere. So. No.
But you've got to give up things, like you've got to be on your phone all the time, which impacts your family. You have to be able to answer calls on Saturday nights, Sundays. Work long hours sometimes, and then you still got to make sure that your health and everything like that is sustaining. You're going through all these changes.
And the phones, I'm probably pretty bad on my phone. It's an email, it's a text. I only have emails and texts come through as notifications. I don't have any social come through. I've blocked all that stuff. But when you're with your daughter and you got a client call on a Saturday because they're at auction, it's a bit hard to. You've got to take the call because it's pretty urgent stuff, and then she doesn't quite understand just yet. Dad, why are you on your phone when we're playing basketball or something? So there is those challenges of doing that, but you got to do it. I say that I'm available for my clients, and you got to do it.
But if you want to build a big business, you've got to be willing to do it, and obviously you are willing to do it because you've got this end goal in sight. But having growth means you've got to reinvest into the company, and there's you get to a point where you say, all right, am I going to pull out the profits? Am I going to build a property portfolio? Do I want to just sit back and relax? Or you go, no, I'm going to grow the business. I might have to buy more businesses. And there's normally 3 ways you can grow your business. You can use your own cash. You can use debt from a bank, or you can just use a profit that the business is turning over to grow the business, to build it from 2 to 8 to 7, 16 staff. What's the main track you've taken when growing your business?
Because I've done so much, I've actually done all 3 of them, to be honest. I think initially when I started Entourage, I borrowed money to pay out the business partners for that trail commission from the bank. And that was secured against a property, so that was kind of cheap money. I've probably used my own money at different stages just to, prop up income when I've needed to. And then last year with the office, I borrowed a little bit of money just for the office because it ended up being well over budget. Office fit outs are very expensive.
If you're ever going to do it.
I'm not experienced. If you're ever thinking about fitting out an office, that can really blow the budget. So, but it was good fun though, and that's So I've kind of done all 3. So the goal now, there's no more real big expenses coming up. I'm not probably looking to buy any more business at this stage. So really look to get some of these other debts that are just hanging around for another year or so just paid off and just become, get rid of those yucky debts.
Yeah, that means you've got a good turnover business, good revenues, good profits.
But in saying that, sometimes there's two thoughts. You can almost keep the debt and then use the money to pay off your home loan, but because it's one of those loans is quite cheap. Well,
if you've got a home loan, I remember me with my business. I've got my investments.
Most people have home loans with this guy.
I don't have a home anymore. I've got plenty of investment loans. So look, I've got my investment portfolios. I've got properties, developments, I've got shares, other businesses that I've invested into in the past. Going out on my own to start my business that I wanted to grow. I sold my home to reinvest some money into my project, which is my business. And then hiring my first staff member, when that was, I used the profit of my business to hire the first staff member, which is what you essentially did as well. Or looking at the growth. Then you get to a point where you're like, all right, we need to grow by using debt or by using my own funds to fuel the fire to get it to take off.
100%. Your money can come from anywhere. I think it's where you've got it. If you don't have it, you might have to borrow it. But we've done all three kinds of those things over the journey.
Yeah, good. And then when people say, all right, we're going to reinvest back into the business. We've got a long-term goal or a long-term plan. We've got a business plan. This is how we want to achieve it. With people like yourself and entrepreneurs, you sort of just go-getters. I think that you just leave the business plan to the side and just say, all right, this is where I want to go and this is how I'm going to get there. Have you ever sat down and go, long-term goal,
this is going to be the bad answer for a business owner here. I read enough books that I've got to have these goals and business plans in place, but I reckon I did a business plan 2015. I don't know where it is. There's different motivations and goals that are internal in my head, and our staff have their own KPIs and that. But the one that people ask, where do you want to be in 5 years? I'm like, oh, geez, I don't know. Like I know I want to be in this office which we've just built for the next 10 years. I want to have, we've got a legal business and a property business. I want them to be up and running and going well. But in terms of, do we want to be the biggest in Australia? Probably not. My thing is really about the team. Like I really love seeing them grow now. Vincent, who's came on as a partner last year, he's bought into the business. Hume's a partner now. Like this is good. This is my kind of passion. Where I want to see them kind of in their name in lights. And I think next month in the March 12th we've got Vincent, Crystal, and Nicole and the business up for awards. So having those, I won't be up for any awards anymore. My time's done as a broker. But these guys, seeing them go win awards, which is kind of new for them, is the exciting part. That's my ultimate goal, to keep training these guys and getting them to go the next level in business and life. And we talk a lot about their lives as well. Like we're with these guys every day. Like we took them to the gym on. We did a big session, a group session, and personal training. We've got them, doing some meditation, writing journals, all kinds of things to help with their well-being within the business. I think that's pretty important.
So as long as you're getting your staff to be happy, to keep generating money, and you care about their long-term success, your business is going to keep growing.
That's it.
So do you really need a business plan? Sort of just roll with the punches as they come.
Leading them right, everything will come, and the process of doing that will end. The monetary goal, that will all come. If I'm doing that stuff right.
Well, Damien, what I love about your story is, so there's a lot of people, when they do well in business, they go for the shiny lights and they try and invest into things like the tech companies. And they take the profits out of the business to start that. You've had something that's worked out fantastically. But now you've started just to grow something that's vertically integrated. So you've got a finance with a property and with a legal team, all within it. So what drew you towards that vertically integrated business?
Well, it's kind of, we always, from 2006, it was always property and finance. And we always had these plans where we'd sit down and get someone's property strategy and do that buyer's advocate. So the legal came on 3 years ago. That was just a natural progression where we referred to this lady, Caroline, and she was unbelievable, and she was leaving a legal firm. And so that just kind of came on 3 years ago. So that kind of came on pretty early in the Entourage journey. And I've always been searching to get the right property advisor back on board, because property is our passion. I invested early in my 20s, and we speak to our clients about property so much. I'm an agent rep, so I could be a licensed agent. You don't need much to be a licensed agent, so, or a real estate agent. And she's got the license, and we got Antoinette last year, and she's perfect, and she's just killing it. So we've had, Vinny and the girls, they always love to talk property. So, but now you've got the expert who's actually on the road, seeing everything.
Yep.
You've got that perfect trilogy of, if you're going to buy a property, you kind of need advice about the property, whether you're buying or selling. You need legal, you need finance generally.
That's it.
Unless you're Stefan.
Yeah.
Doesn't need the finance. No. So it just works really well. You know, we're all a team.
Yeah.
We all just cross refer to each other, and you know, when you got clients that need one thing, you can. I think this day and age, and the way that mortgages have become so difficult, you need a bit of a team around you now.
Yep.
A lot of people come to me and go, oh, you must know asset finance, or you must know commercial finance, or some random business finance. It's all quite specialist and niche. So we've got different people who do different things within the group.
Yep.
Because you know, whether it's a residential, or commercial, or self-managed super fund, or an asset, it's all quite different if you're not doing it every day. But then having legal is great. We can just go, Caroline, what's going on here, and you know, and then Antoinette can kind of give us a review on the property. So for our clients, it provides a better experience, and so far working pretty well.
You get to build a great name.
Great
name. So what this podcast and video series is all about is, it's called Investor Types.
Yeah.
So we like to help people identify, well, if they want to become a business owner, or if they want to reinvest into their business to grow something big, what sort of characteristics do they need to have in order to do this? What do you think?
Oh, look, I think you've got to be skilled at your craft, whatever it is at the start. You know, a lot of business owners I hear, they go, I want to be a business owner so I don't have to work. I think if you think that, you're probably on the wrong path of a business. Don't do that. Don't ever think that that's going to happen.
Go for passive investments.
Work for someone, because that's not going to work for you too well. Because the truth is, you work more than you would as if you're an employee, if it's your own business. If you care about your brand and you know your staff, if you've got staff or whatever it is, you're going to work longer hours than you ever would as an employee. So you got to have that dedication, that hard work, and be skilled at your craft. But then obviously, like I kind of had that year where I got that breakout year, but then I've tried to put that onto other people and lead them that way. So you've got to be a leader as well, I guess.
So as long as you're a leader,
you're
willing to make sacrifices, need to be able to work hard and have that work ethic.
And if you got some money on the side to keep you going for the first year, that's always handy. If you got generous parents, or you know, someone to back you up if you need to. I didn't have that, so I kind of that's a big tip. If someone can give you some cash as well, it's always
be willing
helpful.
To sacrifice and have people around you that understand it.
But it's exciting though. It's great. There's nothing better than running your own business and you know watching it grow. And it's always bloody hard, but once you make it, it's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah. So there we have it. Another episode talking about reinvesting into your business. Damo, thanks for coming on, mate. Didn't know a Collingwood supporter could be so articulate. In saying that, I'm a Collingwood supporter, so it's not that bad.
2020's out here. No worries, mate.
It's been an amazing chat. If you've got any questions, feel free to reach out or leave comments below. Hopefully we'll bring you back for another episode pretty soon. Take care. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate.